What's up, Keep Pounding crew? We're back today with another video. Keep pounding. Today's topic is round 3 of the NFL draft reactions. If you like the video, if you like the channel, hit that like button, hit that sub button, hit that bell so you don't miss any new content. Select all and leave a comment down below if you feel inclined to do so. Let's get into it. Because of the fact that we traded up in the second round, we did not have a third round pick. So let's start with the Bengals. Logan Wilson, Wyoming. Bengals needed a linebacker to bolster their defense. Good pick. Based on what I've seen, I think that was a good move. Antonio Gibson, wide receiver from Memphis, goes to the Washington Redskins. You're going to need a strong wide receiver from that team to go out to Washington and bolster Kyle Allen's offense. So I think they made a right decision here. They list him as a hybrid running back with enough versatility, athleticism, and technical skills to play all over the field as an offensive weapon. I agree with that, based on what I've seen. Moving on to the Lions, Julian Okwara, edge from Notre Dame. Then you got Ashton Davis, the safety from California, goes to the Jets. Damian Lewis, the guard from LSU, goes to the Seahawks. Seattle's always looking to bolster that offensive line, and they knew they could get Damian Lewis. They figured he would still be there after we traded up with him. So I feel like that was a good move on Seattle's part, as well as our part. So Brandon Jones, safety from Texas, goes to the Dolphins. Justin Madubulk goes to the Ravens. Defensive tackle, Texas A&M. I don't know much about these lower drafted guys, but we'll see. Maybe some exciting names will pop up. Zach Bond, linebacker from Wisconsin, goes to the Saints. They traded up with Cleveland to get that pick. And I feel like that's a good move. The Saints have had good linebackers, but they needed a little bit more, for depth. So I like this move for the Saints. Jonah Jackson, guard from Ohio State. Any offensive guards on any offensive lineman are going to be solid picks. So I like this one for the Lions. Third, fourth, fifth, you're going to get lower graded guards, but still, anyone from Ohio State is still going to be at least a B or a B minus grade guard, going in. So you're still getting a solid guy. So I like that move. Keyshawn Vaughn, running back from Vanderbilt, going to the Buccaneers. There's a big highlight on him. They say he is a downhill runner with a sneaky speed, quickness, and burst. He catches the ball well out of the backfield and could be a contributor as a rotational player for the Buccaneers. I like that move. You're looking at rotational players that are coming in and out. I think that's a good move. They made the right decision. Michael Ojamula. I think I pronounced that last name right. If I didn't, leave me a comment down below. Let me know what the correct pronunciation is, because I'm really bad at that. So Just be patient with me. Cornerback from Iowa goes to the Broncos. Matt Hennessy, the center from Temple, goes to the Falcons. Jabari Zuniga or Zuniga, I'm not sure which. Edge goes to the Jets from Florida. Raiders had 2 picks here. One of them was a pick from Chicago earlier. So, Lynn Bowden, wide receiver from Kentucky. Brian Edwards, wide receiver from South Carolina. Pair of wide receivers there. Good choices. Good choices. They also got a wide receiver from Clemson last year. So I like that move, to go South Carolina and Southern Conference teams. Gruden knows these teams very, very well, being that he was a coach for Tampa Bay for a good number of years. So he did a lot of scouting in the South. So of course he's going to be looking at wide receivers from this area, to bolster his team. So Neville Gallimore, defensive tackle from Oklahoma, goes to the Cowboys. Boy, Crushenberry. That's a last name for you. The center from LSU goes to the Denver Broncos. They traded up for him. Yeah, as soon as they saw that center go off the board for the Falcons, they traded up for him with Pittsburgh. So I like that move. Terrell Davis, edge from Alabama, goes to the Rams. Now, Terrell Davis is the guy I had my eye on, 3rd round. In particular because, yes, we did get one edge rusher, but it wouldn't hurt to get another edge rusher around that point in the draft. You could also go safety. You could also go corner again. You could also go with an offensive lineman. There's a lot of choices still in the 3rd round. So, Terrell Davis was on my list for the simple fact, and ESPN picked this up. They say he's an intriguing pass rusher prospect with an impressive length and strong hands. Lewis has flashed disruptive traits, but his extensive injury history has led to durability concerns. Yeah, his impressive length and strong hands. That's why he landed on my radar board. But the injury concerns are why I initially dropped him off the list. But if you're looking for another strong edge rusher, excuse the yawns. I'm tired. It's been a busy weekend and a busy week, so excuse that. But yeah, the injury concerns are why I didn't initially keep him on my list. So, and I decided to go with Julian Blackmon instead on my list, who went to the Colts from Utah. He was the strongest contender on my list. If you're looking at a safety around this time, that would have been my pick. And ESPN again picks this up. They say he's a productive safety with instincts, awareness, and ball skills. That's exactly what I read into him when I was watching tape on him. I was watching highlights on him early on before the draft. And I was going through some of these names, that might go in the first 3 rounds. That might fall to us. So, and that's exactly what I saw. So he is a steady player with the potential to crack the rotation as a spot starter. I agree with that. So you move on to Zach Moss, running back from Utah. There's a lot of Utah players getting taken in this early round draft. Uh, this one goes to the Buffalo Bills. Uh, Inferne Jennings, edge rusher from Alabama, goes to the Patriots. Jordan Elliott, defensive tackle from Missouri, goes to the Browns. And here's one I had on my radar, Cameron Dantzler. Cameron Dantzler, cornerback from Mississippi State, goes to the Vikings. Dantzler has the potential to be a very, very good shutdown corner, with the right coaching. So you look at his pass defense, you look at his coverage, it's very, very good. He has outstanding instincts and ball skills. That's what they said on ESPN. I agree with it. And he challenges wide receivers too. That's one thing I noticed when I was watching his highlight reels. Is he will challenge wide receivers. He'll get in their face. He will make sure that they know he is going to stay there and he's going to stick them. And that's one big thing that caught my attention about him, and that's what landed him on my radar around the third round. Did I expect him to fall to us? No, because I figured that we would get somebody better by that point, but or he would probably get taken before that, before we get a chance to get him. So then you got Jonathan Grenard, edge from Florida, Houston, the Houston Texans, New England Patriots selected Devin Asulai. I think that's correct. The I's and the L's look the same on the NFL website, so you have to forgive me if I mispronounce names and stuff like that for that reason, as well as the fact that I'm really bad at mispronunciation. So, but he's a tight end from UCLA. Duvernay, wide receiver from Texas, goes to the Ravens. Darrington Evans, running back from Appalachian State, goes to the Titans. Now, Appalachian State, and I mentioned this in the live stream, Appalachian State players have really, really been coming on strong in the last 10 years. And I remember watching them back in the early, I want to say, 08, 09 against Furman. They had some monsters on that team. And they just clobbered Furman. It wasn't even close. Not even close. The talent, the size, the speed, they just clobbered them. And they were the dominant team along with Georgia Southern in the Southern Conference. Both those teams just controlled the Southern Conference with an iron fist. The SoCon. So, it did not come to us as a surprise to me when they started beating teams from Division 1 and moving up. It just surprised me which teams they beat from Division 1. But ever since then, you've been getting great recruiting from Appalachian State, and that coach does a really great job down there. He just knows what he's doing, and he knows how to get the right players and the right talent to really build around it. So I like anyone from Appalachian State that's a offensive player, especially. So Darrington Evans, I didn't do much research on this guy, but I can only assume that he's going to be a solid pick for the Titans. So moving on. Hosea DeGara, tight end from Cincinnati, goes to the Packers. McTelvin Agram, defensive tackle from Arkansas, goes to the Broncos. Lucas Niang, tackle from TCU, goes to the Chiefs. Chiefs needed offensive lineman. That's a good move. Jacob Phillips, linebacker from LSU, goes to the Browns. Again, trying to bolster that defense in Cleveland. Malik Harrison, linebacker from Ohio State, goes to the Baltimore Ravens. Good pick. You're getting into the compensatory picks now, starting with Cleveland. Matt Pert, tackle from Connecticut, goes to the Giants. So that's now the second tackle that the Giants have selected in this draft. The Raiders go after their fourth or fifth, I think fifth, Clemson player in 2 years with Tanner Muse, the safety. Excellent choice, Gruden. Excellent choice. I can tell you this because I've watched Tanner Muse for 2 or 3 years now, and I've actually watched him in person at the spring games. I know exactly what he can do. He's just an animal on the field, and you're going to get a workhorse in Oakland, which is now Las Vegas. You're going to get a workhorse player for the Las Vegas Raiders. I like this guy so much. And I will say towards the end of the year, he was more of a Jekyll and Hyde safety. You're not sure what you were going to get out of him in the last 4 or 5 games, but of him being a senior. But you are going to get a workhorse. His cover skills were a little bit lacking in those last 4 or 5 games, so just be aware of that. But he took excellent angles. He had excellent instincts. Just an all-around great player, great guy. He's going to add a lot to the community, and I like him. Great pick. Great pick, Raiders. Patriots, Dalton Keene, tight end from West Virginia. And again, a lot of these players I don't recognize the names of. Alex Highsmith, the edge from Charlotte, goes to the Steelers. Dalvin Taylor, linebacker from Colorado, goes to the Eagles. Terrell Burgess, safety from Utah, goes to the Rams. New Orleans Saints, Adam Trotman, tight end from Dayton, goes to New Orleans. Tyre Phillips, the guard from Mississippi State, goes to Baltimore. So, all of those are compensatory picks. And the thing is, when you look at guards and tackles, you want to think, okay, well, if they're doing their job right, you're not going to hear their name. You're not going to recognize them. You know, if they're doing their job right, they're going to do it really, really well. Average to where you don't hear their name, or horrible to where everybody knows their name. So, those are the 3 stages, really, when you deal with offensive linemen. So, most of these guys are going to be the ones that are going to be in the middle section. So, let me read it. Let me read you off a couple of stats. And then we will finish up this video. So first is Tanner Muse. I want you guys to understand how dominant of a player Tanner Muse is when he's playing up to his potential, which is like 9/10 of the time. 104 solo tackles career, 87 assisted, 191 total, 10 tackles for a loss, 3.5 sacks, 7 interceptions, 102 yards, off of that. 14.6 average, 1 touchdown, 14 passes defended, 1 fumble recovery, 1 touchdown, 1 forced fumble. That is what you're getting when you get Tanner Muse. So, I like this pick a ton by Gruden. You know what players you're getting. You know what caliber of talent you're getting when you get Clemson and Bama players, Ohio State, Oklahoma, Ohio State. You know, those four, as well as Michigan players, have been really, really solid over the years. You know, you're always going to get solid people from there, especially from Clemson and Alabama. These players are consistently good. Offensive linemen, defensive linemen, secondary, the whole 9 yards. You're getting quality players every time you draft. Ohio State has been really, really good offensively. So you'll get really good linemen, you'll get good wide receivers, you'll get good running backs, you'll get good quarterbacks. You'll get good defensive tackles from there and corners as well. Ohio State's been known for their corners, so in drafts. So let me just read you off Mississippi State. Cameron Dantzler, 78 solo tackles, 30 assisted, 108 total, 6.5 tackles for a loss, 1.5 sacks, 5 interceptions, 23 yards, 4.6 average, 20 passes defended. 20 passes defended, folks. That's 9 in 2018, 8 in 2019. 1 fumble recovery and 1 forced fumble. So you're getting a guy that's going after the ball, and he's sticking the wide receivers. He's knocking these passes down. So I think that's an excellent pick for who was it? The Vikings. That's an excellent pick for the Vikings. I like that pick. And they now have gotten 2 solid corners in this draft. So I think they're going to be really, really happy with that. So that is the round 3 wrap up and my reaction to them. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, hit that like button, hit that sub button, hit that bell, select all, and leave a comment down below. Let me know what you thought of these picks so far. And, as always, keep pounding.